Hi, catching up on some of last year's more notorious films. I watched Madame Web this week, the fifth and almost last of Sony's Spider Man spin off movies. They've attempted, with their ownership of the Spider Man rights, to spin movies out of this. We've had the three Venom movies, we had Morbius, we had Craven the Hunter earlier in December, which you can see the review of. And of course, at the beginning of the year, we had Madame Web. It's the story of Cassandra Webb, an American paramedic in New York in 2003. Her mother was researching spiders in the Amazon when she died and died giving birth to Cassandra. And she starts having visions of the near future, just as another guy, the man responsible for killing her mother, um, is having visions of him being killed at some point in the future by three young women wearing bizarre Spider-Man like costumes. So he sets out with his spider powers to hunt them down and kill them. And Cassie, seeing what's in store, becomes their protector. The film is it's not almost anything, it is completely laughable. It's a mess. It barely makes any sense. It's very heavily redubbed. The villain's motivation is nonsensical and doesn't really cohere. The film only works as the pilot for an ongoing saga, which is incredibly arrogant that there would be an assumption that there would be any more after this. And obviously, there aren't going to be any more because this film lost about $100 million. But it's so poorly thought out on almost every level. It's very poorly edited and directed. Dakota Johnson, as someone who generally has a very flat or sardonic affect to the way she speaks, is a really weird choice for the hero of a superhero movie. You have in a supporting role Sydney Sweeney, who is a major star on the ascendant, and is completely wasted here, dressed in a what looks like a schoolgirl fetish outfit, and is about 10 years too old to wear it. To wear a normal schoolgirl outfit, cover myself. Um, but, but it's so laughable. I mean, the dialogue is so poorly written. I mean, the line about studying spiders in the Amazon when her mother died, that's not in the actual movie, but there is a lot of very, very badly written Thunderbird style exposition dialogue. Even that, right from the very first scene, it's absolutely appalling. We have a few notables in supporting roles. We have, as Cassandra's partner in driving around her ambulance, Adam Scott is Ben Parker, who will obviously be the uncle of Peter Parker, Spider Man himself. And his sister, Mary, I think, is a sister in law. Mary is pregnant with Peter, and she's played by Emma Roberts, and the father, Richard, is away somewhere because he's a spy or something. And Adam Scott, I felt, was a very strong choice to play Ben Parker. There's a little of the humour that he's known for there, but based off the back of Severance, he's a very strong dramatic actor. He can give real humanity and sincerity to strange situations, and that works very well here. And I could imagine in some other iteration him being a really strong mentor, parental figure for Peter Parker. The movie also uses the song Dreams by the Cranberries over the end credits, which is a great song. It's a classic song. Look it up, it's fantastic. But it has nothing to do with the movie in any way because Cassie doesn't have dreams of the future. She has visions. She has them while she's awake and walking around and driving ambulances. So the song doesn't make any sense at all. And that's the problem with the movie, that it's been thrown together and doesn't make any sense. Apparently, the script was massively rewritten in pre production by the studio, and then it was heavily re edited and reshot, and the result is a complete dog's breakfast. It's completely deserving of all the jokes and the bad reviews. It's a terrible movie. The people responsible at Sony have blamed audiences and blamed critics for their films going badly because at no point can they possibly accept that they have made bad decisions by ruining other people's movies. And they have no idea what they're doing. They just carry on fucking everything up for actual artists with no consequences for themselves. They never learn. So we had this, and we had Craven the Hunter this year. Both dreadful, both franchise-endingly bad, and both losing Sony an awful lot of money. The consequences for that appear to be Sony realizing that maybe they don't know what they're doing and they're not going to make any more Spider-Man spin-offs. There won't be any actual consequences for the people who've lost all the money for the studio or keep fucking everything up. But unlike Kraven the Hunter, this was at least entertainingly bad. It did at least have some elements of entertainment to it. Those weren't necessarily deliberate. But it does have Adam Scott in it being good. It does have that song, which is nice to listen to. Kraven the Hunter did not have these things. So although this is one of the worst films of 2024, by sheer virtue of two good things about it, it's not the worst.